You know, for decades, we've been told that our overall weight is one of the biggest clues to our health. But what if that's not the whole story? Today, we're going to dig into some new research that suggests when it comes to cancer risk, where you carry your fat might be way more important than what the scale says.
It's a number most of us have heard of, right? Body mass index, or BMI. It's on our health reports, it's all over the news, but is it really giving us the crucial information we need, especially about our risk for something as serious as cancer? Well, the latest science is saying we need to look a lot deeper.
So, let's start right there with the metric we all think we know and talk about why experts are saying it's probably time to look beyond it.
So, what even is BMI? At its core, it's just a simple calculation based on your height and your weight. For years, it's been the go-to tool for doctors to get a quick snapshot of your health and to assess the risk for a bunch of obesity-related cancers. It's simple, it's fast, but is it actually accurate enough?
This idea is summed up perfectly by oncologist Dr. Daniel Landau. He calls BMI quick and dirty. Sure, it gives you a basic idea, but it totally misses a critical piece of the puzzle that new research is now shining a huge spotlight on: the actual location of the fat itself.
And that brings us right to this groundbreaking new science. We've got a study that's completely shifting the conversation away from how much fat we have to where that fat is actually hanging out on our bodies.
And this is the simple but really powerful question at the heart of the research, which was published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute. It basically challenges everything we thought we knew about the link between weight and disease, and it proposes that, you know what, not all fat is created equal.
So to answer that question, researchers basically mapped the human body, and they zeroed in on 5 specific areas where fat collects. The fat just under the skin on your belly, that deeper visceral fat that's packed around your organs, the fat on your butt and thighs, and even the fat stored inside your liver and pancreas.
And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. The study didn't just find that some fat was more dangerous than others. It also found that some types of fat might actually be protective. Yeah, you heard that right.
The results were just striking. They found a direct causal link between belly fat and an increased risk for cancers of the endometrium, esophagus, and liver. But here's the incredible twist. Fat on the buttocks and thighs was actually linked to a decreased risk of breast cancer and a type of brain tumor called a meningioma.
I mean, this finding was so significant, it caught experts like Dr. Anton Bilchik completely by surprise. He called it a very unexpected, intriguing finding and suggested that the fat cells in our lower body might have some kind of anti-cancer properties. Just let that sink in for a moment.
So, naturally, this leads to the big question: why? I mean, why would fat on your belly be so dangerous while fat on your thighs could actually be a good thing? Well, the answer is all about understanding that fat isn't just stored weight. It's an active, busy part of our biology.
We tend to think of fat as this passive blob that's just storing energy for later. But the National Cancer Institute makes it really clear that it's so much more than that. Body fat is actually a biologically active organ that can produce hormones and influence all sorts of processes all over your body.
And here's how that can get risky. This active tissue can pump out extra estrogen, which is linked to several cancers. It can also drive up insulin levels and create chronic inflammation. And both of those things create an environment where tumors can thrive. And on top of all that, fat cells release their own hormones that can literally tell other cells to grow and divide. The key thing to remember is that fat in different parts of the body seems to do all of this very, very differently.
Okay, so what in the world does all of this mean for you and me? Well, this new understanding is pointing us toward a much smarter and way more targeted approach to our health and to cancer prevention. The big conclusion here is that our body shape, which is really just a reflection of where our fat is stored, might be a much better predictor of cancer risk than just our overall weight or our BMI. It's not just about the number on the scale, it's about the silhouette in the mirror. This really just crystallizes the entire shift in thinking. We're moving away from focusing on a single, simple number like BMI and moving toward a more sophisticated understanding that really centers on fat distribution and body shape. It's a much more personalized and, honestly, a potentially far more powerful way to look at our health.
So, we're going to end on this thought. As we learn more and more, could assessing our body's shape and maybe even targeting specific types of fat become a primary tool in preventing cancer? This research suggests the answer could very well be yes, and that is opening up a whole new frontier in how we manage our health.